Hello everybody, this is General Yanis, and today in Guard Tactics I'm looking at some revealed news from Warhammer community for matched play with the upcoming chapter approved grand tournament and some new rules a bit revealed on some new course secondaries or replacing some of the old ones, and especially I think the take no prisoners or the no prisoners is quite interesting and could be interesting to use against armies with heavy bikes and heavy elite infantry. So let's take a look. So today, the 25th of May, the chapter approved the Grand Tournament 2021 and the Munitorum Field Manual are around the corner. The Munitorum Field Manual, of course, will include the new point costs, so it will be interesting. It will be hectic to check all the updates, and let's see how that will affect Death Guard and some of the meta armies like the Drukhari. The pre-order date has been announced for Saturday. And today, Warhammer community revealed a little information on changes to some of the core secondaries. So, looking at the secondaries that they revealed, some changes, some playtesters they had reviewed. So, investigate sites will become investigate signal, and today the investigate sites is an action that you can do if you are within 6 inches of the center, and no enemy units are in the center of the battlefield. And then you cannot start the action if there is any enemy in the center of the battlefield. So, as they also said in Warhammer community, it was quite easy for the opponent to just put a unit there at the end of their turn, and then you couldn't do this action. And basically, maybe also a lot of people didn't take this secondary. So now the change, it will be a change in the wording so that you can start the action even if there are enemies within 6 inches of the center. And then to succeed with the action, you need to clear those enemies so that the center is free at the end of your turn, and then you can succeed with your action. Surely it will make it more usable. However, I think the center of the battlefield is many times not where you want to be. Is not so often secondaries, objective points there. Yeah, the center actions or actions in general are maybe a bit difficult to perform, but at least the change here will make it a bit more useful. Then one of the popular choices for secondaries, the deploy scramblers, will now be called retrieve Octarius data. So that's a strange name. Today you have to do the three times deploy scramblers, once in the middle, once in your deployment zone, and once in the enemy's deployment zone. It's very difficult for your opponent to stop this from happening. But it's an all or nothing, and you can score 10 victory points today. And they mentioned in the change that it will not be, it will change, so that will not be not all or nothing, and it will be linked somehow with the table quarters where you can do the deploy scramblers. Maybe I'm guessing you will get a progressive number of victory points for every table quarters you succeed the action in, maybe 3 victory points per quarter or something like this, or you need to make at least 2 to make it score or something like that. But it will not be all or nothing, it will be a bit different, and it will have some link with the table quarters. And then going to I think the most interesting change, they revealed the change to thin the ranks, and now the thin the ranks will be renamed for no prisoners. And today I think the thin the ranks is very lackluster because you add a tally for every model you take out from your opponent, and you add 1 to the tally for every model killed. And if the model that was destroyed had a wound characteristic of 10 or more, you would add 10 to the tally. And then at the end of the battle, you divide for every 10 tally, you get 1 victory point. So if you would killing, let's say, 20 models in the game, you would get 2 victory points. So it was quite very lackluster. And you could have this elite infantry or bikes or something like this that it's very difficult to kill very high wound models, but they wouldn't count towards the tally more than 1. So the new secondary will count the wounds characteristic of the destroyed models as long as they aren't a vehicle, monster, or character. So today There are secondaries that target vehicles and monsters, and of course they assassinate for characters. So if your opponent has a lot of vehicles, monsters, if your opponent has a lot of characters, there are some secondaries you can choose to go after them. But if your enemy today had a lot of elite infantry, a lot of bikes, they were in a sort of a loophole, and there was no killy secondary to try to remove them from the battlefield. Thin the ranks definitely wasn't a good one in this situation. But provided that they will still keep the tally that 10 tally gives you 1 victory point, then now a unit of 5 intercessors opponent, for example, if you can destroy them, you will get 1 victory point. 3 outriders, 4 wounds each, would give you 12 tally, so already 1 victory point. You take 1 unit of outriders out. If 10 eradicators or terminators or models with 3 wounds each, they would give you 3 victory points for every 10 you take out. So it starts to get interesting if you have your opponent having a lot of these type of units. An ATV with 8 wounds, being a bike, it will net you almost one victory point. You will get a tally of 8, so 2 of them 16, etc., and you combine the tally. Of course, this will also have some implications for Death Guard. We also have Elite Infantry, we have the Blight Lords, we have the Death Shroud with 3 wounds each. Our Plague Marines have 2 wounds each, so of course taking out 5 Plague Marines would be 1 victory point for the opponent. If they take the new prisoners, the Spawn could be also targeted for 4 wounds each. 3 models is already 1 victory point, 5 models is 2 victory points. So it's suddenly it's something to consider now. The thinner ranks were before it was only ever applicable if you were facing our horde type of armies with a very high model count. So just thinking of my last battle with the Custodes. The Custodes also is very elite, low model count army. I actually killed all the crosses here, so I basically killed, for example, 5 of the bikes. If I had selected this one, they would have given me 2 victory points. Then I killed some Terminators with 4 wounds, so 12 more in the tally. And then I killed 12 3-wound models. I would have gotten 68 tally from the end of the game. If I killed this guy, maybe 71. I would have got 6-7 victory points from this game if I had selected that one. So not fantastic, but it could have been better than some of the others where I have to do actions or I have to do something else, because I would try to kill them. I will try to take these models out anyway, so it could be interesting to get some score. As I said, Death Guard lists with many Terminators and Poxwalkers could be a target for the opponent to select the no prisoners, especially if the Terminators are selected for while we stand, we fight. It gives also more incentive for the opponent to take them out. So of course, every 10 Poxwalkers is a potential 1 victory point for no prisoners. The 10 Terminators would be a potential of 3 victory points, and 5 Plague Marines are a potential for 1 victory point with the new tally scores. So just counting up my infantry here, I took to this battle. My opponent actually took thin the rank and he scored quite well, but he would have scored even better for killing my Death Shroud. So he would be able to have scored almost 10 victory points just for my infantry in this game. So of course, maybe in this new Death Guard combo where we use a lot of Terminators and Poxwalkers, that's probably an opponent could select these no prisoners to come after us. So some summary and final thoughts. So of course, it will be interesting to see all the changes to the core secondaries. Also, of course, really excited to see what the new point cost will be. What do you think about these new revealed secondaries? And what do you think will happen with the points? So with these words, this concludes the video. Please leave some comments below, press like and subscribe to the channel. And with his words, General Yanis is signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.